What's going on, guys? This is Tom with StockedUp. If you guys have been watching my videos lately, they've all been about oil and OPEC cutting production. Right now, Russia and OPEC just approved the biggest oil cut ever amid the coronavirus pandemic. We can see the article come up 12 minutes or 30 minutes ago now. If we go ahead and scroll down, we can see that over the next few years, they will keep gradually decreasing curbs on production for 2 years until April of 2022, which is very big on oil, which should send the price up over the next couple of years. If we go ahead and switch over to a shorter 15-minute time frame, you can see on Friday, as this news was starting to come out about them meeting, you can see that the price sharply dropped on crude oil, and we did go ahead and fall right below the 1,000 SMA, and we did come back up and touch the 1,000, which signifies to me that we could be down on open today, whenever futures do open in about an hour or two. But the thing is that this 1,000 SMA could get broken with big news like that, but overall, technicals still point downwards for me. And whenever I'm talking about technicals looking like they're going to go down, I'm just talking about the very short term here within 2 to 3 days. If they go down longer term than that, obviously oil might go ahead and cross below this low it's hit at 1927. If it does hit that low and go below, expect down to $15 to $10 a barrel possibly. It's been there before. It could definitely get there again, but it's something that's very unlikely to happen. And if it is unlikely to happen, some long-term stocks that you could get into could be USO. Over the long term, if oil does go up, USO will definitely go up with oil, as well as VDE. Those are two very good opportunities in oil, especially if it goes up over the next couple of years as OPEC and Russia cut their production. And I know it might be like a broken record right now. Oil is in the best opportunity to buy. You're seeing it all over the place because it truly is. It's in a very good spot. It's the lowest it's been in a long time, and that's very good for investors because a lot of banks and institutions are starting to buy up a lot of shale oil production facilities. Different stocks are starting to take ownerships in companies. It's starting to really put up a lot of opportunities for people to get into these types of markets, and people are taking big advantage of that right now for the long-term gains, not short-term. Within the short term, it could always fluctuate. Everybody knows that, but we're banking on the long term here. One huge event coming up that's definitely going to impact the markets is going to be earnings season. If we go ahead and look at my watch list on the left over here, these are a lot of good stocks that I like to watch all the time, like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Ford, the CME, Tesla, General Motors, Leggett & Platt, Boeing, Snapchat, everybody, AT&T, Lyft, SPY, US Steel, Facebook, pretty much everybody that's a big company. There's not too many, but it's a pretty good little list here. It gives me a pretty good indication on whether the market is going up overall or down based on whether these go up or down. So as we can see on Friday, most of these were up, so I would go ahead and guess that the market was up, which it was. So that's good for us. It wasn't up too much, but as we see, you can see the percentages. So I would say we averaged probably up about 2%, which isn't too bad on Friday. But for the long term, what we're going to be looking at is over here, you can see these little blue and red circles on my watch list, which indicates that these stocks are going to have earnings coming up. So if we click this, you can see on April 14th, Wells Fargo is going to report earnings. And if we just go down our list here, JP Morgan is going to report the same day. Ford's going to report about a week or two after. The CME is going to report right around them too. Snapchat, AT&T, Lyft, Facebook, US Steel, everybody. If we go down here, we can see the Dow Chemical, Leggett & Platt, Boeing again, Lockheed Martin even, MO, which is very good stock. They're all going to be reporting earnings, and that's going to greatly impact the markets because the coronavirus is definitely going to cause an issue with earnings coming up. Now, I do think that some companies will have better earnings than others because some companies have been selling products nonstop since this pandemic's happened, and that's really a big thing. People who make things like toilet paper or toothpaste and stuff like that, like Johnson & Johnson, food companies like Hormel, those people are going to do very, very well right now considering all the coronavirus. So as trading goes on this week, that's just something that you should keep in the back of your mind, is that these stocks are all going to be reporting earnings soon, and that's going to really move the markets because the coronavirus has affected everything so much that these stocks, the volatility right now is already crazy, let alone whenever they start reporting earnings. As we can see now, Wells Fargo has already dropped down 50% since the highs of the coronavirus, let's just say. So that's a 50% drop on a big stock like Wells Fargo. We can go to anything. Let's just go to BAC, Bank of America. Another big drop, about 40-30% here. If we go ahead and look, yeah, about 50%. If we go in all the way up to the top, we can pick anything else. Let's just say, I don't want to pick Boeing because that's a really bad example. Why don't we pick AT&T? That's a pretty solid stock. A lot of people like to invest in that for the long term with their dividends and everything. Let's see how far AT&T's dropped down here. total of 32%. So see, a lot of stocks have just been falling nonstop lately. So if we're really going to look at these companies and decide, well, which ones are going to go up and which ones are going to go down whenever they report earnings, the big things you need to look at is, do they sell essential supplies, and were they classified as an essential business by the government? A lot of these companies were not classified as essential businesses, which means that a lot of them had to unfortunately shut down during this time, which means that they are definitely losing money in the long term because of this. Keep in mind that the government does have that stimulus package, and people are getting loans, like small business loans that are forgivable up to 2 months, and or up to $300,000 in payroll or something. There's just so many different loans that are available right now through the SBA and everything like that, the Small Business Association or whatever. There's a whole bunch of loans going out to different types of companies, and these bigger companies like this that sell essential things, I think, are going to go up in price very significantly, because a lot of people have been spending tons of money on all of their food, all of their items. They've been all out of stock pretty much. So that's very good for these companies. They've been making more money than normal. But some of the companies like AT&T, for example, have probably been losing money because people are like, well, I don't have the money right now to spend $500 on a new iPhone, or $800 for this new iPhone. I'm just going to get, the cheaper one, or go with a cheaper plan, or, just not, use the cell phone at all, which I know everyone has to have a cell phone, but you know what I'm saying. Some people can't. But if we go ahead and look at other stocks, like Boeing, for example, is another big one. They've definitely lost a lot of revenue because of this. Obviously, they're not flying right now. All their planes are definitely grounded. Most of them are, that go out of the country anyways. There is flights going on domestically within the United States, but obviously that's going to affect things like Delta Airlines, which is DAL, a little bit more. More people that have lost a lot of money are cruise lines like CCL. No cruises have been going out, or if they have, they've been stuck at sea sometimes even. So there's just all types of news going on right now. And that's what's going to really affect it whenever these earnings seasons come about, is that the earnings are going to definitely make the stocks move another 10 to 20%. Now, which direction, I don't know, but it's definitely going to affect them one way or the other. One huge example of what I'm talking about here with businesses being essential and people using things during the coronavirus is going to be Netflix. Netflix, pretty much everybody knows them. You can pretty much watch all types of different shows on there, movies. As long as they're on there, you can watch them unlimited, as much as you want. Just stream them right to your TV, to your phone, to your tablet, laptop, whatever you have. You can pretty much watch it anytime. And right now, since everybody's stuck inside during this pandemic, pretty much you can see that Netflix stock has pretty much risen right here. It did have a slight fall with the rest of stocks at the beginning of March, but it did end up going up because everybody's subscribing to Netflix right now. Because of that, they're all stuck inside, and this is an essential thing to these people who are stuck inside. Just like how people who make, let's just say, canned tuna, or weapons manufacturers like Ruger or Remington, those types of companies right now, I guarantee you they're doing very, very well. All types of gun stores are just sold completely out of ammo, out of guns. Just the same as a lot of supermarkets are sold out of food. It's stuff that whenever things go bad, people want these things. They want food, they want water, and they want protection. And those three things are going to do very well whenever these earnings come. In light of all the horrible stuff going on, I hope you guys really found value in this video. This earnings season will definitely help you out if you go ahead and make a solid plan before it happens. We know the earnings season is going to affect the markets, so go ahead and plan for it to happen. Be ready, have a plan generated, and then that's how you're going to be successful in these type of markets. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment down below, and have a good one.